welcome back to the Bftv podcast, episode 7. 7? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 7, but we'll go with 7. I can't manage to entice any guests. No, I haven't bothered to try and ask any guests on just yet.
Aren't I good enough?
So I have to stick with this rabble. To my left, young Drakeley.
Hello. Oh, it's my knee.
To my right, Mark 1.
What up?
Mark, you made your long-awaited appearance on Tilton Talk Show this week, didn't you?
They begged me to go on.
Yeah.
They nagged me non-stop. Mark, will you come and do our podcast? I'm busy. No. I've got a family to look after. JJ won't let me out of the house.
I locked him down.
Locked me down, but no, I did. I was on it on Monday and it was a very delightful experience.
It is very good, though.
I felt a bit like Lee Catamol. Like, I've been in the Premiership of podcasts now with Tilton Talk Show. Now I'm in League One. Back on the Bftv podcast. No offense.
Ouch.
This is the first person to be replaced.
I am the Lee Catamol of podcasters.
When a guest comes on, you are horrible to us. You always put us down, but the feedback's getting better and better every week, and you just keep putting us down. You're the only one that puts this podcast down now.
I'd put myself down.
Don't worry, Mark. At least you're not the token woman on this podcast.
Exactly. You're literally here for 2 reasons.
Go on.
If you can't work that out, James.
I just wanted you to say them, to be honest. I'd gathered, but, just wanted you to say them.
Get on with the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're here to talk about football. Well,
I was.
Well, we can call it football.
Not me.
Good point or bad point against Ipswich? 1-1.
Terrible points.
Okay.
I'll take it, but any other day you wouldn't take it. If we hadn't got the 3 against Leeds and the 1 against Sheffield United, I don't know about you, but I'd be fuming with the 1-1 with Ipswich. Like that's not good enough.
Yeah, I think the home results did cushion a draw at the bottom of the league, Ipswich.
Yeah, we can afford to take a point now, but looking at Ipswich's place in the table, to be fair, looking at the performance, based on that first half performance, the fact that we only came away with 1 point from that is terrible.
The manner in which we played the first half was probably one of the best that we've been this season.
Yeah.
And then it always happens, we flip. Our second half have been atrocious for a few games now, and it's beginning to beg the question of why.
I would say all bar Sheffield United, we were good in the second half against Sheffield United.
We were okay.
No,
it's not so much just the whole second half, it's as soon as he blows the whistle for the second half.
Yeah.
Ipswich came out.
45 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah, we sort of stayed back in the dressing room having a chat. When they finally ran on the pitch, it was 1-1.
Yeah.
They just weren't present whatsoever.
So why is this happening?
That is the £24 million question, and
because
if one of us knew, we wouldn't be sitting here.
All right, granted.
I don't mean that
No.
flippantly or sarcastically. I mean, who knows? I've literally no idea what is going on. Please, somebody tell me why immediately after half time we just capitulate.
Yeah. I think at the start of the season it was more we were starting games poorly and coming out in the second half. I remember Ipswich at home, we were 2-0 down, and then we came out and had a cracking second half and we drew 2-2. Look, Ipswich weren't going to come and they weren't going to lie down for us. They wanted to put on a show.
You say that, but I don't know. I think the first half, honestly, it was like watching a training game. I genuinely thought, like, it's arrogant to say I felt bad for Ipswich, but I kind of thought, wow, they've accepted their fate here. The only one who really gave a damn was Quainer.
Yeah, he did,
the Huddersfield guy.
And he's on loan.
He's on loan. I assume that is to impress Huddersfield or other future clubs.
Yeah, sure.
But he's the only one who looked like he gave even half a damn.
Mm.
Then the second half, Lambert decided, I hate Birmingham. I'm a DVB, I can't stand them. Let's put a shift in.
Oh, the amount of people in front of me that were shouting DVB all half. Yeah. Someone shouted it at Quainer, I think.
Oh, really?
Quainer committed a foul and he went, you DVB. And I went, like, come on, lads. Because I'm shouting it at James Collins.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He limped off probably in tears. The abuse he was getting from Dave in the 4th row. And then Lambert was getting it. Fine, yeah, I love it because I hated Lambert as well. Yeah. But then just it was any player touched the ball. It was like DVB.
Well, yeah, I assume that is just testament to the frustrations of watching us try and throw away a game yet again, and we did.
I think
we just weren't present in that second half.
No.
It definitely says a lot when we made Ipswich look good in that second half.
And
does, they haven't been great this season, obviously, seeing as they're going down. They're crashing down, no disrespect to Ipswich. But I thought, I said to James at the game, they actually didn't look that bad the second half. And James went, well, actually, I think it was more that we were really poor. And I think it was a bit of both. Ipswich definitely switched it on a little bit more in the second half. I mean, they knew, obviously they must have known that we switch off in the second half, because as soon as the whistle went, they went for it and they scored and they got the point. So they capitalised on our downfalls.
They did their research.
Yeah, exactly. And that was just that was simple. You can watch so many games this 2019 part of the season where we've just collapsed.
I made so many notes from that first half that are so positive.
Should see the amount of notes he's made.
Literally, I've started to prepare now. Rather than just waffling, I try.
I'm glad you've done that. Yeah, I'm glad you've done that.
This was all for Till Talk Show. None of this.
I'm not even going to act surprised, if I'm honest.
But I made so many good notes, and then the second half is, well, I've been told not to swear. It's just a lot of swear words. I've got look really sharp. Mrabti looked pretty sharp. Quayne are the only one putting effort in. This looks like a training game. This looks like a training game. Half time.
It is a training game.
F word.
No, I'm waiting for you to go. Looks like a training game. Looks like a training game. I've only been watching the warm ups. This was only the warm up. It was a training game. It's frustrating. I think.
I'll tell you what was frustrating.
Yeah, go on. You're going to say the same thing as what I'm literally about to say, but go on.
You say yours first then, because I talk too much as it is.
Substitutes.
Close.
Okay, we'll get on to that.
I've got an addendum to that.
Go on.
We'll get on to that, but go on.
First half, both their centre backs get yellow cards, don't they?
Yeah.
And the right back.
Was it three?
Three.
Why aren't we just charging at them? Why aren't we? But to your substitutes, why aren't we throwing Vassell on and just run at them, force them to make an error?
You're saying exactly what I was saying during the game. Why are we not putting pace up against? With all due respect, James Collins was still on the pitch at the time on a yellow card, the easiest red card. You don't play football for red cards, but you play the game to win, and if you want to win, you want a man down, you get rid of him. You only had to knock the ball to the side. And he was gone.
You know what really got to me?
Everything.
The substitution of Magoma. On what minute was it?
91st.
What's the point?
Did I write?
What is the point?
I thought I had the exact time. Yeah, I know.
Why?
Did the first sub come around
70th? It was Mahoney, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which was a surprise to begin with. I think I think Mahoney gets a bit tired around 70th minute, so Monk just takes him off.
Bless him.
I know, bless him, young lad, you know. But what confuses me is why does he wait all that time? This was a game we could have gone out and gone right, big guns, Vassell's on the pitch, Craig Gardner comes on just to mess everything up. Come on. And we just
bit of arm movement
didn't do anything. We just were playing for the point, and that really got to me. And I was just thinking, why does Monk think that going for the point is okay? It's okay. We're struggling at the bottom of we're near the bottom of the table, so a point is a point. But we should be getting those 3 points, especially against Ipswich.
I do want to reiterate that as much as
Ipswich, because you're obviously watching.
Gary Monk. We say every week, he is a great manager. He's the best manager we've had in a very, 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 very long time.
Since Ewan.
But he still has a lot to learn. And I think, I've been saying it to him for 6 months now. I probably don't, I think I said it a few times on here. His game management, in-game management, is woeful. We made the subs against Middlesbrough. We were drawing and then we ended up losing. All right, he wants to go for the win. It wasn't. You don't take a centre midfielder off and leave him middle of the park. But fine. His substitutions are, apart from sort of 1 or 2 odd games, always questionable. He doesn't change systems in-game to try and counter what the opposition are doing. And I saw so many comments on Twitter in the last few days, like, his in-game management is where his weaknesses lie. And I think that if he's to improve as a manager, that's his next step. Is to work on his flexibility in game, his substitutions, and just how we approach the game. Like at half time, we went in at 1-0. We could have changed the way we were playing. Told Ipswich to come at us a bit more, but leave space in behind and get Vassell on the pitch to go in behind. I don't understand why when Jukovic is on his arse at 60 minutes why he doesn't say, Duke, you've worked so hard this week, 3 games in a week, get yourself off. For Sal, you've got 30 minutes, go and impress me.
They were flagging though,
They were flagging, even Adams was flagging. Take one of them off. What benefit? Yes, we know their partnership is fantastic.
I'd like to actually see him do a full 5-day working week. Not like an actual job, but yeah, I suppose they were tired, because footballers get tired.
Of course they do.
Yeah. You ever played football 3 times in a week?
He used to play for Nottingham Forest,
did you know? Did you know that? Should tell us about that sometime, shows. Did I mention I was on Tilton Talk Show?
I'm never the one to mention it.
Did I mention I was on Soccer AM?
You did mention it, yeah.
Did I mention I went on TV and embarrassed myself?
No, but everyone else mentions it.
Everyone else mentions it. But yeah. No, frustrating, I think. But
I'm glad Mrabti and Hotter started though.
yeah, it's good to see them get some time.
I thought Mrabti looked really good in the first half.
I thought Hotter looked alright. He kept slipping over. But
I think he was better than what he had been in the previous few times we've seen him make an appearance on that pitch.
I think Jota is almost handicapped by his price tag.
Em's fuming, you've just called him Jota.
Oh, shut up.
The burning flames inside of me.
Hotter! Hotter!
We don't all speak Spanish, Emily.
I get my castanets, just like...
But yeah.
That's Mexican, whatever. Hotter is handicapped by his price tag, because if you told me he cost us 200 grand, I'd go, he's alright for 200 grand. But because he costs so much, I expect too much from him, perhaps.
You expect Eden Hazard.
Yeah.
No, but you do, it's true.
Kind of. The championship equivalent. The fact that he's valued at that much means that I personally expect more from him, and I think a lot of others expect more from him.
I do.
If we'd have just bought him for 4 million, he wouldn't get this much.
How much did we get Mags for?
Free. It's a free transfer, wasn't it? From Sheffield
They
Wednesday.
paid us.
And if I'm being honest, he's done a lot more this season than Hotter. I'm not. I haven't rated Mags as much this season.
In his defence, he's had more chance to do more than Hotter.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But yeah, you're right. Max, you all know I have a burning desire for Maxime Colin.
You'll be delighted to hear he's part of the itinerary this evening.
You two. Keep your legs crossed, you two. Come on.
If you look at the price tag of Max compared to the price tag of Jota, again, it's not Jota's fault, but how impressive is Max in comparison?
If we'd have paid 6 and 7 million for him, he'd still be impressive though, Max. He would. Let's be realistic. You wouldn't moan that we paid 7 million for Maxime Colin.
But like you said last week, perhaps Jota's just not in the right setup at the moment.
I don't think he is.
Next year, who knows?
I agree to an extent with Mrabti as well. I think he's not in the right setting for him.
Yeah.
You had a good idea. We were talking about it in the car, as we always say.
I have some great ideas.
Shea up front.
Yeah.
And then we've got... Was it
attacking.
Mrabti in the... You said.
If you set up in like a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
With those 3 attacking midfielders behind the forward.
Yeah.
Put Adams at the tip of the forwards.
Adams won't be here.
No, but this
hypothetically
was...
speaking.
Even this season.
Okay.
You can use it this season. Magoma on the left. No, Mahoney on the left. Hotter on the right. And Mrabti down the middle. Because I think Mrabti could operate in that number 10 better.
I don't know enough about Mrabti to comment, to be honest. I haven't seen him play them.
From what I watched, that's what he looks like.
He's really good on FIFA, apparently.
Oh, right, okay, so he's good on FIFA.
If he's good,
Is he
good in real life then?
Well, James has a FIFA career mode, and he's 76 rated, so he must be alright.
Well, try out on
What a
FIFA.
nerd.
If he works on that, I'll let Gary Monk know.
Yeah.
We'll fax him. We'll let
He's
him
a
know.
pager.
We'll let him know. Dear Gaz.
Dear Gaz.
Em's been playing FIFA.
Em said that Mrabti geezer's decent on FIFA. Get him on. Oh God, birds are having a mad one out there. No, I just think that obviously they're getting really rude now. You buy players sometimes, and you'll obviously Hotter was a panic buy as such. He was a trolley dash buy, as it was proclaimed.
Do you think?
And I don't think he was bought with the intention of a specific system. So obviously we've been made to fit Hotter into a system because of his wages and his price. I think Hotter's useful anyway, but what I'm saying is we're not a Brentford. We're not.
No, we just tried to buy Brentford.
We did try and buy Brentford.
I don't necessarily agree with you. I think Harry Redknapp didn't have enough time, in all honesty, to implement what he wanted to implement.
He had an entire summer. he had enough time.
Yeah, but if he got hotter on the last day of the season and he was sacked, a few games after that? Because it wasn't that long after. He didn't have that much time to implement Hotter in the system that he wanted. So I think it's kind of unfair to say.
I don't think he had enough time.
Say that Hotter was a panic buy, because he might not have been a panic buy. He just didn't have enough time to put in the system that Harry wanted.
I disagree with the panic buy.
Trolley dash, maybe then is what I meant to say.
I disagree with that.
I disagree.
I think it was.
You're allowed to have that.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'm not going to change it. No. Yeah. Some good things came out of that trolley dash, Max and Harley. I'm not saying that Hotter's... I don't regret us signing Hotter. In no way.
Mark and I are like, we do.
No, I don't. Yeah, his wages are a bit high, but...
All I'll say is, if you'd have asked me this time last year, my opinion of Shay Adams, it would be being brought up around about now to throw back in my face. Because I wrote some pretty... scathing things about him and said some scathing things.
What the pods are for? They can just be brought up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I was quite well known for calling Shay Adams lazy, especially at the beginning of this season.
He was.
He was the laziest player in the world. So
credit to him.
Oh yeah. But we're not talking about Adams. We're talking about Hotter. The thing with Jota is that could be exactly the same thing next season.
Yeah, it could be.
So, like you say, let's see what Monk does in the summer. Me personally, I'd sell him partly because he might draw back 5 million for us, partly because he's probably got a massive wage because Redknapp just doesn't understand economics quite like Emily does.
Who does?
Yeah.
The club should hire me. I'm looking for a full-time job.
Just crowbar that in there.
I could help with the finances.
Yeah. I know. And on the fence answer, I would sell him. Not that you asked the question, but I would sell him. But I understand the desire to keep him in the hope that next year a team could be built around him. However,
I would like to think so as well.
Personally, I don't think he's good enough to build a team around.
If someone offers me, or if we were offered 4.5 million for Hotter,
I'd say see you later.
I would take it. Absolutely, I would take it. Yeah, for sure.
Would you take 3?
But I do think also we haven't unlocked the best of him, and I think it requires the personnel. He can't, with all due respect, he can't play with a David Davis. He can't play with a Michael Morrison. No, he can't. He needs footballers around him.
Max.
Yeah, he needs Max. He needs Shay.
Whatever it's called.
He needs Max. He needs Shay. And he needs another.
That Barcelona style of play, tiki
taka.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's where we're going wrong. We're not Barcelona.
We're not Barcelona.
That was our biggest mistake this season.
Damn it,
Gaz. Barcelona.
How can you?
What though? I don't think that you should be basing a team around one player. I don't think we should rely on him to be our next big thing. That's why with Shay, we shouldn't be relying on him. That's why we've got Lucas Jukovic. That's why we've got Isaac Wissel. That's why probably in the summer we'll build our team.
Yeah, makes you wonder if we were mid-table now.
Yeah,
would Shay? He's kind of if he's going to be a big cash cow for us, you probably wouldn't want to rest him because we need to keep his advertisement running. But exactly like you said, if we become too dependent on the guy next year when he goes, we better replace him with a bloody good replacement.
It might be a see you later League One. That might be it because he's our dominant.
I wonder if we were mid-table whether Vassell would be getting more of a look in, and maybe Bogle would have stayed a bit longer.
I was shocked by Bogle leaving. Actually, I don't think I've actually discussed it.
No, we're not discussing Bogle.
No, I thought he just switched on his light and he was getting going, and then
I heard an interesting fact about Bogle last night, and I'm not willing to discuss it.
Let's just not judge him on football. Let's say that.
He seems like a nice guy.
No, he seems alright.
He never followed me back on Twitter, so that says it all.
I've seen like a nice guy.
He's drinking my drink. Juki. I think we've got to brush over this quickly. 2-2 away from home for Duke now.
This is exactly what Emily said. We can't rely on just...
Yeah, we can't. That's where...
So we got...
Underappreciated footballer all over the pitch. I've said it last time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, his work rate and his everything he did outside of goals in the whole season has been phenomenal. His work rate, his link-up play, his battling efforts, everything has been
even
good.
The goal he scored was started by him.
Yeah, it was.
It was him to Max Colin, obviously.
We'll get on to that. That is.
I'm itching for it. Let's talk about him now.
I'm not going to say what you're coming across. You'll get them. You know JP's going to give you them.
Who's JP?
Kitman. JP.
Oh.
JP the Kitman. I think that obviously while Dukey was doing everything outside of goals, I think it's nice that he does add some goals because there was a lot of pressure on Shea to get the goals, and now he's scoring away from home. I think that's helpful if Shea can get the goals at home. I think.
Yeah. Dukey's another one who, again, end of last season, I'd have said, well, let's move him on.
Yeah.
Now, it's across the board though. It's the effort across the board from all of them.
Yeah, we want to see it.
Has massively improved. A couple of exceptions.
Last season was so
depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, you would just go to the game and just feel like... Yeah, it was almost like you were really trying and only stupid sound can encapsulate how you really felt. But this season, you go and you don't know what to expect, or it's exciting and there's always some sort of thinking, oh, we could do this time. We actually might get a result from this. Whereas I just think that the attitude has completely changed, and you can see that with the performances. Everyone's a bit more open, relaxed. I mean, the media interviews are a lot more frequent and friendly, and even when they're negative, they find the positives and they own up to their mistakes, and they're not sending Harley Dean out to be like, please don't shoot me. And
Harley was the scapegoat last year.
Poor Harley.
Media, we were under fire. Send Harley out.
Bless him.
It's like one man tank, and he bless him. Yeah, but look, Dukey's the whole squad's pulled together. I think as long as we can just get over that finishing line sooner rather than later. I would like it to be Friday. It's not going to be Friday.
Can it be Friday mathematically? Isn't it Monday?
Not mathematically, but like it would be almost impossible for Rotherham to get out of it.
If you look at who Rotherham have got left,
well, including us,
it's a hard slog for them. We are probably their best chance of getting points.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a shame. I quite like Rotherham. Rotherham's ground was the first away game I ever went to, and I really like their ground. It's a shame that their squad isn't as good as their stadium.
Did you hear what their manager did at half time?
Yes.
Was it half time or
no, before the game?
What did he do?
He basically went to do his team talk, had a whiteboard as they all do, turned round, drew the Rotherham badge, which is impressive to start with because I can't draw one.
Can't draw a stick, man. You can't.
But he wrote his reason for wanting this win, and he got all the players come up one by one and write who they were playing for today. So they were like putting wife, kids. Oh. They put me obviously because I've been on Tilton Talk Show.
Pod King,
Podcast King, as I was called.
It's not Mark. It's just Pod King. That's his name. It's Pod King and Drake.
Media whore. But yeah, they're all writing their reasons around. I thought that was and then that kind of makes you think, I want them to stay up. Like, I want to batter them 8-0, obviously, but I'll let them win every other game. But then he might send us down.
Yeah, it's like Catch-22.
We are 25 minutes in, or something. I haven't kept track of the time. And nobody's, well, I'm talking to a camera. We haven't picked up on the fact that Mark doesn't have his Superdry stuff on.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you going with that?
One of the first things I said, Mark, you've been sponsored by Vans today.
Look at that cap and that jacket. We're 3 unbeaten.
Yeah.
We got to take the little positives. We're 3 unbeaten.
That's not a little positive. There's a massive positive. One of them was Leeds.
After going like 4 games losing or something like that, with 3 games unbeaten, it's quite impressive.
To be fair, 2 of them have come against the second and third, and the other one was an away game. To remain unbeaten in that 3, you've got to say positive. We've done well.
You're reaching a bit there with the Ipswich one. Like.
Literally clutching at straws.
But he was away.
It was away. I know.
It was away.
Yeah, we did drive over 300 miles.
Quite a few teams have gone there and not won.
And they were tired. They played 3 games.
No, I'm not having this. Blasphemy. I'm going to be positive from now on. You can be negative. You continue with your negativity.
Realistic.
Not realistic.
Yeah, 3 games without a loss. That's what you need when you're in a relegation scrap.
Someone said, can we make it 7?
What, without a loss?
Yeah, now and the end of the season?
No.
7 what?
Unbeaten between now and the end of the season.
You're having a laugh. We've got Derby on Friday. Come on, whoever said that, come on, reality check. Derby. I mean, I know they haven't been doing as brilliantly as when we played them last time. Yeah, Frank Lampard's derby.
It's not a derby. It's Frank Lampard's derby.
Yeah.
I know they haven't been playing as well as they were last time we played them, but I'm still absolutely nervous. Trying to keep things PG today, guys, because I got in trouble last time. But I'm really worried about derby.
She did too many swears.
I did too many swears.
She did a swear. She got a slap on the wrist.
The excitement got too much for me, and now I've had no coffee, so it's fine.
I think the most publicised bit of news this week has been the potential ground share next season with Coventry.
Mm.
I've seen mixed reviews.
Mm.
I've seen people hate the idea. I've seen people completely welcome the idea. Which thoughts?
I used to work in Coventry. Don't like it.
If...
Do you know what actually genuinely surprises me?
What?
So, you've heard the saying, sent to Coventry, haven't you?
No.
No, but I could understand it, Mark.
Anyone of an age knows it. Like, when you're... Basically, Coventry was bombed in the war. Right? Second World War, it was flattened.
Yes.
Yeah? So that's where the phrase, like, if you get sent to Coventry, it's basically saying, go where no one else is. Like, it just...
yeah, I get it.
Like, left out in the culture, was like, right, okay. So that... None of that is important as it goes. The point I'm making
History
is
lesson.
Coventry was absolutely obliterated in the Second World War. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You go there now, that's what they decided to build on top of it. That was their idea of improving it. They should have left it flattened. It is a dump. I cannot stand Coventry. I hate Stoke. I hate Leicester. I hate Coventry. I cannot believe that they had a chance to build whatever the hell they wanted, and that's what they chose.
Are you on about the Rico or Coventry as a place?
Coventry as a place.
Coventry as
I'm
a
not
place,
including the nicer sort of outskirt areas like Meridian. Is that a name? Whatever.
Yes.
I'm talking about Coventry, city centre, it all.
Alright.
It's whole.
But
if they want to share grounds, then yeah.
Cool. I think it's a great idea.
If you're
One
looking...
day I'll do a podcast where I don't sleep.
If you're looking from a sensible business standpoint, it's
here we go, economics lesson.
No, it's a very good idea because they'll have to pay us money, so we've got another income.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So if anything, that gives us that. We're struggling with financial fair play. If anything, that gives us more of a boost, more of a comfort safety net.
Yeah.
So we won't have as big of a loss. Because say they come and rent our stadium, for how much do you think they'll rent it for?
Well, they you take gate receipts from it, don't you, and stuff like that. So it would be that.
Say hypothetically, £1 million. It might be more, it might be less. I haven't got a Scooby.
Would 100% be more.
That's £1 million more we can spend. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
If I'm honest, I don't understand the problem with sharing, and people have yet to tell me. The only thing I've heard so far is, don't want to share with them.
I hate Coventry.
Why is that then? Why is that? Don't want to do it. No, I get that, mate. But why don't you want to do it? Don't want to. Okay, cheers, mate. Yeah.
There's two mentalities. There's two mentalities towards why not. One was, I don't want people sitting in my seat. It's a seat. It's a seat. They're not sitting in there while you're at the game.
It's like he's going to sit on your lap.
You're not sharing laps, lads. They will be there the opposite week. Relax. The other one is, I don't want to help Coventry. I don't like Coventry. I don't want to help them.
I'm not a big fan of Coventry, but...
No, I'm not. I don't like Coventry.
Like, the team I don't have anything against. I don't care enough about them.
I'm not a huge fan of the fans themselves. I don't hate them.
I don't like Dion Dublin.
Oh, yeah, but...
You know what, though?
I do like Homes Under the Hammer, though.
I love that.
Oh, you're so middle-aged now. It's unreal.
My dad got that on record anyway. I love that programme. Anyway, I think after all the things that have happened in football recently, with North Therapy going under and Bolton nearly going under, and all these teams are not being financially supported by the EFL, I think it's our way of sticking two fingers up and saying, if you're not going to help teams, we will, we'll be like a martyr for the cause.
This is Emily's campaign speech, the Emily Football League.
Good idea financially, but the only bad point is,
I don't see a bad point.
Can the grounds staff keep the pitch in good condition?
Yes, what a rubbish. Look at Inter Milan and AC Milan.
No.
Look at Wembley when they had internationals, Tottenham, they had the NFL.
It's getting torn up.
But
so how do Inter Milan and AC Milan cope?
I don't know.
I'll tell you, very well.
We don't have Inter Milan and AC Milan's ground staff, though, do we?
Well, then hire better ones.
How hard do you think looking after a pitch is?
When you've got short turnaround, let's say that they play on a Tuesday night.
You can tell you don't know how to go.
How about Ellen Road, where they play rugby league, and Or they certainly used to, I don't know if they still do.
They do, yeah.
Leeds Rhinos and Leeds United play in the same ground. Wigan used to play in the same ground.
Bristol City
possibly still do. Bristol
I'm only making the point that would be the only
Coventry's
downside.
current ground is shared with the rugby team.
Yeah, but that's in bad condition half the time.
Is it?
Yes.
I think that's
Alright,
probably...
Leeds, alright, granted, I don't see it in a bad light. Wigan, fine. But I'm just saying, if we were to play Tuesday night...
Old Trafford, they're playing rugby, football, cricket.
You're not going to get it.
They don't play cricket, it's different.
We play Tuesday night. We play Tuesday night, they play Saturday. They play Tuesday night and we play Saturday. 4 games in space of...
You don't think when they sort the fixtures out, they're not smart enough to work out these little issues?
No, but I'm just saying it's a heavy load for the pitch.
Maybe if they do pitch there, that's something that both teams will have to invest in. So say they get better green lights or, those things they have shining to help the pitch recover. I don't know. In Wembley, they're green.
We just dangle some fairy lights above the car.
My dad is a groundsman. I'll ask him what the actual term
is, yeah.
Yes.
Groatings.
Get your dad to do it. Your dad can be the chief groundsman.
I asked him and he said, hell no.
Yeah.
No.
Hell no.
So, just quickly, yes or no?
Yeah, I don't say yet to be told a reason why not.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't. If you say no, then I'm not entirely sure the reason.
However,
but I don't.
The first time I see a Coventry sticker, Coventry graffiti,
it's going to happen, isn't it?
Like Coventry paraphernalia in our ground. That's when I completely change my mind. I come on here, I slag everyone off and say it was crap on here from the start.
Who said yes to that?
I told you the pitch wouldn't manage. Told you.
I told you they were going to sit in my seat.
I told you to sit in my seat.
Because my brother's got blue stickers all over his seat, which they can't tear off for some reason. So his seat is plastered in like blue stickers.
Oh, I
can't wait for Coventry fans to stick the stickers over his. He would lose it. He's had them there for about 4 seasons.
I've never thought of that until just now. There they are. There's a negative for it. I don't want them Coventry-ising their ground.
I did have a question from somebody that asked on last week's podcast. I think he asked it yesterday. Reece Brown has been tearing it up.
Yeah, apparently so, yeah.
At Forest Green.
Forest Green. Do you know, they've got like a very eco-friendly
bean
ground.
there. She lives like 5 miles.
My local ground where I was born is Forest Green.
Is it nice?
It is actually.
It's got like an eco roof or something.
Yes. Basically, it's all vegan. So the guy that owns Forest Green, it's not that bad.
No, it's grim.
The guy that owns Forest Green also runs a company in Stroud called Ecotricity, and they help run eco-friendly energy for the area. And now it's gone national, so it's quite a big thing. But he also owns Forest Green. And he's vegan, and he's implemented vegan things into the club. So like you can't. So it's like instead of burgers, it's like vegan burgers and stuff. If you're open-minded,
I take back every nice thing I've just said about Forest Green.
If you're open-minded, it's okay because the area, everything's sustainable within the club. So I think, in a way, it is the way forward.
Could you imagine
vegan
burgers down the Blues?
No, however, you've got to understand where I come from in that way of the world. Everything is very, very different. You're more of a city at the Blues. It's a city vibe. In the country, it's very much. If you ever go to where Nailsworth is, where Forest Green is. That is country. If you go further on up the road, you are in fields. But they are moving. But they are currently moving. They're about to move, or they're planning on moving the FGR ground to a place called Stonehouse, which is miles away, right by the M5.
It's grim there.
But right by the M5, so it's easily accessible. But Forest Green are 6th in League 2, so they're on the rise.
What has vegan burgers got to do about would we take Reece Brown back?
I don't know.
I was just giving a backstory if you know nothing about FGR.
I was really interested. Dragging it back slightly, what other Blues player played for Forest Green recently? Jimbo. You put us on the spot the other week with your questions.
His dad was the manager.
Who was it?
Or was the manager?
Yeah. Charlie Cooper.
That's not who I'm thinking of.
Okay, when did he play first of all? When did he play for Blues?
I'll tell you what, carry on with what you're saying about Reece Brown and I will find out and we'll do one of your fancy little...
You don't even know. It was Charlie Cooper was the last player as well.
Why would I know that?
But okay, fine, you do what you...
I've got a weird story about FGR.
You're pointless with Reece Brown because you didn't watch Reece Brown, with all due respect. You've watched him at Forest Green, you didn't see him at Blues.
I can take that. Because it's the truth.
That was so horrible of me. Reece,
you know what? It's only what people on Twitter are saying. So, you know, it's all right. I'll go back to Forest Green.
You go back and cry. Reece Brown, I would, depending on the price tag that Forest Green would put on him, I presume it'll probably be a 6-figure sum now. Or something, 7-figure sum, being the £1 million. Or...
It would not.
Yes,
What?
it would. $1 million.
No,
they would
it
probably.
would not.
Reece Brown is like 21 or whatever he is, has scored double figures from midfield in League 2, at the top of League 2, double figures assists. He will command at least £1 million.
My dog could score in League 2.
He probably could.
I think
Do you
I
reckon
could
she's worth
score
£1
a
million?
League.
I think the short answer
£1
is
million for a League 2 player.
Yes.
How much did Dele Alli go for?
like 7, 6.
Million.
Million?
£6.
6 quid.
6 million from MK Dons. They were at League 1 at the time, weren't they? They were League 1.
I think that he'd probably be £500,000 max.
Depends
add-ons.
what Reece Brown's attitude's like, because when he was at Blues, he had the world at his feet, and I remember being in a corporate, very fancy.
Get you.
£5 million for Dele Alli. I'm surprised at that.
I
I
told
thought
you.
I was supposed to be posh when
I went corporate one of the games. I think we played Yeovil Town at home,
Cool, I like Yeovil.
and I hate Yeovil. And we lost 2-0 under Clark.
So full of hate.
We lost 2-0 under Clark, but Reece Brown played, and I think he won man of the match. And Patrick Vieira was scouting him for Man City, because I saw Patrick Vieira there. And
Didn't take him though.
Well, obviously not. His attitude was
Should know he's worth 20 million now.
stinking.
Yeah.
Well, don't deny, his attitude was stinking. The kid had the world at his feet, probably the best player that we had in the academy. He was probably better than Gray.
Never rated Gray.
Didn't have the attitude though, and I hope that he sorted himself out because he could rise. But the answer is I would potentially take him depending on the price tag, but I wouldn't throw loads of money at him.
I don't think he'd want to come back, in all honesty. He's doing so well at Forest Green. They look like they're on the up.
Yeah. You ready for this player? Mystery
Yes,
player?
please go.
Right. He played for Forest Green between 2015 and 2017, making 62 appearances, scoring 11 goals.
What position?
That you never gave us that option.
Yeah,
we
do you
had to
remember?
play your little
Okay,
games.
when did he play for Blues? That's all I need to know.
2001 to 2005.
Darren Carter.
Yes, well,
Blooming hell, Jay.
you need to get out more.
Had a suspicion it was Darren Carter the minute you mentioned it, but then he's gone to Solihull Moors after that, hasn't he?
Who was he at before Forest Green? Northampton Town.
Northampton.
Who
Of
was he at
course.
before that, Jimbo?
Because we played-
Don't know that, yeah? Don't know that. Cheltenham.
No,
What?
Woohoo! Cheltenham!
Pack. Cheltenham Pack.
Yeah, Pack was there.
Yeah, he was,
That's
yeah.
where I first saw Pack play. And the
You're
love
going to like this one.
Okay.
grew.
You're going to like this one. Speaking of quality players
Max Colin.
and all that, Max Colin. I think that
Hashtag
I have to bring it up because his assist
Thank God.
on Saturday, his run was mesmerising.
Yep.
This
Again,
is a right back.
who does very, very well in midfield.
Oh, he could play in midfield.
I would have
for
him
sure.
in midfield over Davis.
I think I would if it wasn't
Yeah, I said it.
for the need for Davis. If you weren't breaking the table.
Trusting leg up.
If it wasn't for Davis, what we need from Davis, which is that tenacity, I would say yes.
I would trade tenacity for talent.
Agreed. I think that's what Blues need to kind of get the balance with next year is, yes, we need that fight and grit and determination. We do, but we do need to now add a bit more ability and play football a bit more next season. But that's for next season. Max Colin, what is he worth at the minute?
400 billion.
Apart from a pair of pants for you, which
How
is
much
so
did-
weird.
5.5 million.
How much did Neymar go for recently?
And double that.
Double that.
And add a
Add the
pair,
first number you think of.
and add a pair of pants on.
How much is he worth? If I'm honest, I ain't got a clue, Jimbo. Purely because who knows what who's worth these days? Football prices are so massively inflated.
No, of course.
Like, I personally don't think Shea's worth more than 15 million. But then you've got people saying 30 million. And then you talk about Greasy.
I quote
people say
20.
80 million. And
Greasy.
football price is ridiculous. He's worth what someone's willing to pay for.
I quote 20 million for Shea. I think I would take 20 million if that was there and there was maybe a few add-ons.
Yeah.
In today's market, 20 million's fair with a bit of add-on here and there.
Yeah.
With Max, I think it would depend.
He's a right back, so instantly his price goes down.
It would depend where he went. If he went to France, I think the price would be lower. If he went to the Prem, the price would be higher. If he went to a championship team, it'd probably be around 4 million.
I've got to say,
Because we're Blues and we can't do money properly.
I mean, we're not selling him, so it's a moot point.
well, this is what I was about to say.
Don't think.
Won't we? Not that Blues will want to sell him, but Will other teams come in for him?
I will stop supporting the team if we sell him in this window.
You'll be crying, aren't you?
I will burn the place down. Forget Coventry sharing the ground. No one's having him. If I can't have him, no one's having him.
Your Max goes.
I'll burn the ground down with me and Max in it.
When it was his birthday, I sent him happy birthday in French, and he replied with merci, and I was like, oh my god.
I was going to say. You...
On my birthday.
Oh, I was going to say something else.
He got in your DMs. And...
No, but I did tweet out saying, because it was the day of a game, and I said, this is what I want today, a free pie, 3 points for Blues, and Max Colin signed shirt. Never replied. He liked it, never.
Oh, at least he liked it though.
That's why I've reduced it down to underpants now. I'll take anything. Just
a sock.
Yeah.
I did tag him in.
Spit on me, Max.
Mark is a free out.
I tagged him in something earlier, but he hasn't liked it as thus. So.
I think we're getting off track here.
He's going down my estimations.
I think Emily's made a Harry Potter joke, and that's just made her evening.
Value. What's he valued at? Go on. Roughly.
I don't think very highly, purely because I don't think other teams.
Well, we paid 2.5 for him. He's worth more than that. For me, he's worth minimum 4.
What he's worth and what people would pay are two different things. I think he's worth more than that. I don't think other clubs think he's worth more than that. No. I think he's the greatest right back in the league. Forget right back. I think he's the greatest defender in the league.
Top 3. I don't think he's the greatest defender, but he's top 3.
Who would you put above him then?
I haven't got time to discuss that, but do you know what really annoys me? And when he was at Bournemouth, it was in the back of my mind that I would love to go and sign him on loan. Tyrone Mings, who went to Villa. And it hurts me
that he went there. When he stamps on him.
Well, yeah, he's a bit of an arse, but do you know what? He's a bloody good player.
Nah.
No, he is, though.
Nah.
He's tainted all you want. Meh. Yeah, he's tainted now. I wouldn't touch him now. Yeah, but so did...
What's that got to do with Max Colin?
So did Craig's little brother, but he ain't got no stink on him now.
That's different.
Okay, fair play.
Gary never physically hurt anyone.
Exactly.
Gary's not a thug.
Exactly.
She thought I was a thug when she first met me. That's how bad M's perception of people is.
What's this all got to do with Max Colin and his value? Tyrone Mings.
No, I was just saying, like we were saying, quality defenders. I do think he's a quality defender.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
That's where I was getting.
That's my fault. I said he's the best in the league. You see. Okay. No, you're wrong. He's the best in the league.
Okay. I won't be able to change your opinion on that.
I think, but he's the best right back in the league because he plays right back. Yeah. What I mean by that is, if he was a midfielder, he'd be one of the best midfielders in the league. I know we've only seen him midfield once, and that is a silly thing for me to claim. I
think he's played there before, on the right hand side of midfield. Like for us, he
goes forward so much. I would trust him in midfield over Davies. Obviously, he's not one of the best midfielders in the league. That was hyperbole. But he's certainly the best right back in the league for me. Yeah. And the fact that he can play in these other positions only raises his stock, in my opinion.
I agree.
But I don't think other teams look at him that way.
No.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Not worth it. Yeah.
Thanks. No. You're not going to defend his corner?
Defend whose corner?
Max's with the money and all this.
She's just agreed with me. I've got nothing to defend. I am right.
I was going to say...
Have I ever been wrong?
I did see someone say, is he better than Stephen Carr? Now that's it. That's no. I take a lot of my...
He nicked it from Twitter and then asked you about it.
They're talking points that need to be discussed.
You're the host, James.
I don't think you can compare him to Carr at the minute because Stephen Carr got us promoted, got us a 9th place finish, and then won us a cup.
And he swore
at
the Villa. You can't.
He does get added points for swearing.
He does. He really does. For me, it's going to be hard. If Max was here for the next 2 or 3 years and continued at the same level, he'd be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, I don't think he will. But I think Max will.
Somewhat, and Prem team will nab him.
A smart Prem team would
have him.
Team. It's whether they're looking.
Watford.
He'd suit a Watford. He so would suit, and that's painful.
Leicester, he'd suit.
Yeah, Leicester, he really would. But they've got a really good right back at Leicester. But
I'll tell you who we got to watch coming in for him are the teams that go up, whoever they might be.
Yeah.
Because no one has absolutely stormed it, have they?
No.
No, you're right, actually.
No.
I know your mates Norwich probably don't want to.
Well, they got 2 of the best fullbacks in the league.
Is it Ayling?
Yeah.
He's okay.
He's all right.
He's pretty good.
Who's going up with them? Imagine Bristol City going up.
Yeah, they'd need
exactly the sort of player they want.
My dad would probably cry for the first time in his life at Bristol City. Why not?
I'll make him cry.
Yeah.
bring that last day survival out again. He wasn't happy with that. Yeah, but, would you play him at right mid? Because my next question is, I, for one, believe that our midfielders, i.e. the wingers, aren't effective enough. They simply don't contribute enough to our end product, i.e. assists and goals.
I think Jota does when Max is playing with him.
Well, for me, Hotter can only play when Max is on the right.
Hotter. Yeah, I think the few times he's played with Wes Harding, it's just not worked.
It's not worked. Wes is a decent right back.
Oh, yeah, he is. He hasn't got that natural...
I think Wes is unlucky because Max is so good.
Yeah. Definitely. Max is keeping him out of the team.
Because if it was anyone else, Wes would be in every week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
I'd personally put Wes in ahead of Pedersen most games, especially after the weekend. Again.
Well, he was at fault for the goal.
Again, fault for the goal.
How long into the season can we go where we go, yeah, he's got to get used to it?
No, it's not about getting used to it. I think.
Yeah, I've given up with that now. I give him first half of the season.
Yeah.
I was going, he's come from a different league, completely different standard, different tempo, getting used to everything. After the new year, nope, no more.
Yeah. I just think that the thing for me with Pedersen is what you're giving him time for.
By the way.
I'm giving him time because simply he'll play like he did against Leeds and Sheffield United, out of his skin, play quality, and then but lets us down at crucial moments, i.e. against Ipswich with a goal, and he had a stinker of a second half.
Do you know what? I think we've got a curse down that left-hand side of players that have it, but don't always give it. E.g.
Martin Granger.
Magoma.
Quality.
Pedersen.
You're talking about that.
Mahoney when he's on the right, I love him. When he's on the left, I still love him, but he's not as good as when he's on the right.
Wingers, for me,
never rated.
It doesn't matter.
Just left-hand side.
Check Keita.
He's coming back in the summer, guarantee you. He's coming back in the summer. He's coming back. Our wingers, it doesn't matter if it's Mahoney, Hotter, Magoma, or Mrabti. They don't contribute enough.
Except for Jota.
What?
Nothing. Carry on.
Sorry. The M's. All the M's. They don't contribute enough.
No, you're right.
Mahoney contributes the most at the minute.
Too many touches.
But too many touches, yeah. He's the most talented as well, I think, at the minute, with his end product.
I don't know about that.
I think he's most determined.
I'd say Jota's the most talented, he just doesn't show it.
Yeah, but that's it. I think Mahoney's been showing he's the most effective.
He's maybe the most effective, but Hotter's the most talented.
Yeah.
I think he's got the most get up and go about him, and I really.
He's got that spirit.
Yeah, I like that though, because I think if you go out on the Saturday, loads of people, I know it's really pedantic, but loads of people want to be professional footballers, and if you've got that chance, which people
James used to play for.
I know.
No, stop it.
People want that chance, and if you're going to go out there and mess about, people won't have it, especially at Blues. If you mess about on that pitch, we won't have it.
# Jack Storer.
Yeah, get out.
Get out.
There you go, that told you.
Is he a chav?
Who, Jack Storer?
Yeah.
I'm not going to slag him off because he comes after people.
Does he?
Yeah, he is.
I'd like to see him come after me.
Okay. He'd headbutt you then.
Hit me with your best shot.
Imagine him trying to headbutt me.
Hit me with your best shot.
My forehead's too big. It would do too much damage.
So next season, in my opinion, we need to invest in 2 quality wingers. I've said this in all of it. 2 quality wingers with end products, because you've got to look at teams that do well, have good wingers, i.e. Norwich have got Buendia, Hernandez and all that who was scoring, Stiepermann, who score lots of goals and assists. Leeds have got Pablo Hernandez.
I think we need to invest across the whole of midfield.
Yeah.
Not just the wingers.
Yeah, I agree, but I think if we're going to be more effective going forward next season, even more so, and if we're going to replace the goals that Adams is going to leave and the assists,
I get what
apart from a striker, which is evident, I think we need 2 quality wingers.
However,
and 2 are going to go. I think Mahoney's going to go back and we won't sign him, unfortunately. As heartbreaking as that is for you.
You're racking up a hell of a wage bill.
But Keefton Beld is
and
out.
A hell of a transfer budget.
I'm sorry, Pookie was a free transfer at Norwich. As long as you recruit right, you know the player. Obviously,
how many people got free transfers this season? Last season?
What do you mean?
Lots is the answer. I don't know.
Yeah, there's lots. You can get
how many of them
one.
Can you now name off the top of your head? 1, Pookie. What's that tell you? The conversion rate is pretty slim. It's easy to say, oh, well, Norwich did it with Pookie. Well, yeah, that's one team, one example.
No, but it's true though, isn't
it?
Yeah,
it's true. That's one example. It's not like no one else is trying that, but they got the one that paid off for them.
Yeah, of course it did. Yeah, of course it did.
If you want a tried and tested, proven winger that's quality, well, Ronaldo's very expensive. They don't come cheap, and we don't have the money to.
I think you can't just look at the wingers. I mean, we've got Keith Bell out now, probably until at least New Year.
Yep.
And then who have we got? We've got Craig Davis.
Craig Davis.
Charlie Lakin.
Yes, Charlie exists.
And then my mind just
Charlie's
goes...
Exists.
Who?
Well, there he is.
So I think we've got to invest... I said this
We're going
at
to
the
get
beginning
Gary
of this
Gardner.
season. Well, are we?
We will.
We will push for him.
We will.
We definitely will.
I think he'll push for it as well.
Yeah, I think he will.
I hope so. But then we've got Gardner, Davis, Lakin, Craig.
But then is there any position where you go, yeah, we've got enough backup there?
Centre back.
Who?
Wes
Roberts.
Harding, Roberts.
Nah.
Was Dane injured or suspended or something? We had a centre back suspended or injured. I forget what it was.
You forget a lot of things.
Probably did.
Honestly, my memory is terrible. How people remember a pass from a game 6 years ago, I ain't got a clue. But Roberts started. He got injured. He went off. We were screwed.
Oh, you know what though?
Wes Harding went centre half. I think Wes Harding can play centre half.
I felt really bad for Mark when he went off because that was his one chance to show after last season where everyone got slated and he was a scapegoat last season. It was his chance to be like, you know what, I can do this just like the rest of them, and then he goes and gets injured, and I was gutted.
Mark's a really good centre half. Just hasn't had his chance.
I'm alright.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Shift a few pounds.
Get your head on things.
I played right back at St James's Park, won a trophy.
Oh, here we go. Has he ever mentioned that?
Anyone?
I'll bring the boots in his door.
He's never mentioned that. It's like...
I was the last person to lift a trophy at St James's Park.
Let's wrap this up.
Presented by Razor Rudder.
Let's wrap this up with...
Smashed.
We've got 2 games over Easter weekend, Friday and Monday.
Loss and a draw.
Okay.
I do have to agree,
That
actually.
was pretty quick. That was abrupt.
I knew where you were going.
You did.
2-1 against Derby, loss. 1-1 against Rotherham, draw, obviously. That's what I'd say instantly off the bat.
I've been
thinking
really
about
positive recently. I'm going to stick with it.
Go on then. 4-0 wins.
I'm going with a 1-1 against Derby.
That's positive.
That's pretty positive. And a 1-0 against Rotherham to us.
Okay.
We're Rotherham's best chance of survival.
But that's where I think
they're going to come at us.
They're going to come at us and they're going to leave it.
They are. I think they're going to be smart and they're going to do what Millwall did.
If they're smart, we're in trouble.
Finish
us first. I think the Rotherham game depends on how they do on Friday. If they lose on Friday, they're just going to throw the kitchen sink at us.
Who they got on Friday?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, it's not.
I've already got it.
It's not someone easy. I know that.
They've got a tough run in, and obviously
we are their easiest game by a mile.
We need a result. There's no if or but. I mean, what am I doing? Swansea away. Yeah. And then they got West Brom away after. Yeah.
And then Borough.
Borough, they could probably win that at home, to be honest.
It was Borough, Swansea. That's it, isn't it?
West Brom.
The thing is, we seem to forget that
hard running.
Yeah.
We've got wedged between us and Rotherham. We talk like it's us and Rotherham. There's Wigan, Millwall, and Reading, and QPR.
Play 2 of them.
QPR they're out of it almost.
Yeah, but we know what we're like.
Oh yeah, if we lose against Derby, heavily possible, and Rotherham go and win, wow, and the other teams win, wow, we're 3 points off, and you just.
So you're being positive.
No, I'm just saying, you're saying it's possible. Of course,
it's rubbing off on him now. He's scared.
I don't know what to do.
The realism's getting to you.
So, 2 games. How many points?
1.
You said 1, didn't you?
1.
I'm still sticking with 4. I'll stick with it. I think they'll be tight games, but I'll stick with it. When it's wrong, you can have a go at me and blame me.
I'm not going to blame you. I'll probably blame the team, but I'll laugh at you.
No, I was just...
it'd be nice to be positive.
Because I suppose we can be safe by Monday.
To be fair, I think I said Monday night it'd be 2-1 to us, the Derby game. I think I said 2-1 us, they score first, and we draw 1-1 with Rotherham. I suppose I could stick with that maybe 4, but yeah.
I don't like positive.
It won't be 2.
I hate confidence.
You could bring your flip flops to the next week's episode because we could be safe.
On the beach.
Yeah. It's either that
and
bringing
it's
your
going to be
tin
really
hat.
hot.
Yeah.
it's either flip-flops or tin hat next week, guys. But I think that pretty much rounds it off for this week's podcast episode, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. If you are enjoying it, don't forget to leave a like. It helps Mark more than anyone massively.
I want Twitter friends, please.
He wants Twitter friends. I will leave.
Friends.
I'll make a banner for all of our ats below. But Mark's
it should have already come up.
Mine would be bigger. Mine will just go across the full screen.
2 little ones in the corner. They're also here.
Mark!
But yeah, and comment down below, obviously, on the topics that we've discussed today about, obviously, Max Colin and Duke and the games.
Vegan
burgers.
Or a screen. My accent.
Reece Brown's attitude and all of that. There's plenty to wedge in there, so let me know your thoughts on those. There's been quite a few topics in this one, guys, but we might do a bit of a Q&A next week if we're a bit more safe.
Questions raised.
No, but you've got to vary it. You've got to leave it out. So we might, if you leave some questions down below, we will answer those next week in the episode, guys. But thank you so much for watching. Mark.
Peace.
Drake.
We'll see you when we're safe.
For confidence. See you next week, guys.